It's royal class. King Charles and William ignore has and Meg issues after Spare's release. Hello, and a very warm welcome back to Kate Middleton and the Queen News YouTube channel. So, what is the best way to deal with an idiot? Well, usually it's to ignore the idiot. Life is way too short to get bothered by stupid people. Now, in respect of all of this garbage about the members of the royal family coming out of the mouth of Harry, it leaves us wondering if he and other people even understand that he is not a royal. William and Charles are maintaining their dignified silence in spite of attempts to quiz them during engagements where the crowds were cheering them on, as Harry is taking new swipes at Catherine about New Age medicine and jealousy, of course, too. So, first, King Charles kept a dignified silence when he was questioned about whether or not he was hurt by the comments in Harry's horrible memoir. The king was out and about meeting with community groups in Aberdeenshire when the question came up, but he didn't even acknowledge the question. Now, the Prince and Princess of Wales were in Merseyside today visiting the Open Door charity when a journalist asked, "Have you had a chance to read your brother's book?" Harry really went after his older brother in the book, but William wisely ignored the question. So then Mr. Rashid asked once again, "Have you had a chance to read your brother's book again, Your Royal Highness?" Well, William and Catherine were just smiling and continued on their way. They walked right past him without even acknowledging the question. In the UK right now, there is a major cost of living crisis and an NHS crisis going on too. So William and Catherine are out visiting a hospital. Harry, meanwhile, is in the US giving interviews with celebrities. You can see who truly loves the UK, who really is dedicated to public service. Now, clearly, he's going to ignore it. Silence to Harry's horrible behavior is by far the best response. Harry is digging himself an even deeper hole than he's already been in, and William and Catherine, meanwhile, are more popular than ever. Harry is incredibly jealous of his older brother, and Meghan is equally jealous of Catherine. Meghan has exploited Harry's poor self esteem. He really thought that he landed the jackpot in her being this American actress. Harry failed to understand that people who actually have a strong sense of self and a strong sense of purpose do not view everybody else as competition. It's still just so strange to me that Harry cannot see through Meghan. He doesn't see how insincere she is. And sadly for him, Meghan is smart enough to play the game well enough to secure him. And I just can't stand the fact that now William and Catherine have to be tortured thanks to Harry's garbage. People who understand abuse, people who understand how abusers function, know the best way to deal with them is to just ignore them. And this is what's happening. Like it or not, this is a trial by media, and a lot of it is an attack against Catherine as a woman. Now, I have experience with women running away from domestic violence situations, and I can say that Harry is definitely using the tactics that an abuser would use. He just picks on little small, inconsequential faults of other people because he's always perfect, let's remember, even though he's an alcoholic, he's a drug abuser, and he has also offended the highest ranks of military that he served for. Harry was never in charge, but it seems to me like he has found people who find amusement in abuse. And this type of disclosure and his anatomy issues, too, don't serve anyone who asked to hear that stuff. And you know what? Those matters should be dealt with privately. And I do think that William knew how to help Harry, but now Harry's so pissed off because he's not the heir. It seems to me like there are many, many problems. So Harry abuses people and people applaud him, but it's abuse. And it is Harry's responsibility to fix his issues, not everybody else's. Ignoring an abuser is definitely the best way to deal with them. Now, getting away from them is a good option too, but applauding them, absolutely not. And it does require a great deal of courage to put on a brave face and just get on with things. William was embarrassed by his mother when he was a child with her interviews and her books, and now he's an adult, so he has to live through basically the same experience with Harry, doing interviews and writing books, spilling all kinds of information that he shouldn't spill, and it's just more dirty laundry for the world to eat up. It truly is a blessing that at least this go around William has Catherine and his own little family. It's all going to be okay for William, I'm sure, eventually. So I hope he can just maintain his dignity, hold his head high, keep that sunny side up, and always look at the bright side of things. I do appreciate the solidarity shown amongst them. The Queen would be so proud of William. They really have taken heed of her legacy and her example to never complain and never explain. Life is just too short to get into this kind of tit for tat and worthless back and forth. Sometimes it's better to find peace in silence instead of trying to argue and trying to get people on your side. And I know the last thing they want to do is set a bad example for their lovely children, so I applaud them for doing the right thing. And of course, the King, the Queen, the Prince and Princess of Wales, now once again out and about doing royal engagements, are going to take the high ground in this situation, and they are not going to encourage more misbehavior from Meghan and Harry. They are going to show their dignity. All right, so I think it's a good idea actually for Meghan and Harry to be invited to the coronation. I do wonder how Meghan and Harry would react to that. Are they going to dare to run the gauntlet of public opinion? I am looking forward to the reaction from the public. And I hope that Harry is enjoying this absurd media storm while it lasts, because soon enough, he and Meghan are going to be forgotten and despised. The dignified and much loved Prince and Princess of Wales, though, are only going to continue to increase in popularity, and soon their three kids are going to be old enough to be the most talked about teens in the whole world. Many people are going to fall in love all over again with this amazing royal family, and those same people are going to say, Harry? Harry who? Another thing I've been thinking about is why is Megan so quiet in all of this? Have you all noticed that? I mean, Megan orchestrated this whole thing. I can just picture her sitting there with a bowl of popcorn in her lap, just eating up all of the negative press about Harry. Megan basically wrote the book. I think she only had a little bit of input here and there from Harry. I am sure all those little digs against Catherine have come from Megan, as if Harry said all of that. Come on. As if he would ever remember that lip gloss incident. See, men do not care about things like that. Megan has dropped him in it, and then she's staying quiet while he is a laughingstock. And I'm pretty sure Catherine was never jealous of Meghan Markle. I mean, come on. I think she was probably just disgusted that she would be forced to interact on a daily basis with somebody like Meghan. Catherine is married to the future king, after all. She is the future queen. And she's the mother of the future king, too. Meghan has opened a few Pandora's boxes in her time. And sadly, she married somebody who she really believed was so important, but as it turns out, he's not. And I'm sure that Megan really wanted to hit the ground running. I guess she had so many ideas about ways that she could modernize the monarchy. But you know what? She should have just shut up and she should have listened to the advice that people were trying to give her. And then Harry was so infatuated with her, I guess he encouraged her. He was so excited for the four of them to be besties. I'm sure that Catherine was taken aback by Harry and Meghan's enthusiastic pushiness, and I'm sure that she did put up some walls. You know, I would too, if somebody just came out of nowhere and told me how I needed to run things. It's also important to remember that although Harry didn't ask to be born into the monarchy, well, neither did William. In fact, we could argue that he was offered much less wiggle room considering William's only alternative would have been abdicating his position as heir to the throne. And that would be a big deal, much bigger than Harry's horrible behavior. But instead, he's doing his best just to uphold a centuries old tradition in the only way that he knows how. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter whether or not you agree with the monarchy, or maybe you're a Republican. At least give William and Catherine some credit for doing the best they can in this situation. It would have been lovely for his mother to see what an amazing man William has turned out to be. William truly is a credit to his father, his grandparents, and all of the UK and the Commonwealth, too. She would be so happy to see how William has turned out. And just because she had her problems with her husband and some members of the royal family, that does not mean that Diana was anti monarchy. She was not at all. Diana adored both of her sons, and she would be absolutely disgusted to see how far Harry has taken all of this. Make no mistake about that. And you, do you agree with the views in my video? If yes, please like and share it with anyone else who would enjoy it. If not, please tell me why, and we can also discuss the royal family members together. And again, please subscribe to our Kate Middleton and the Queen News channel to get more updates in the future. Now, thank you so much for tuning in. Goodbye, and I'll be back to see you all tomorrow.